This is going to be fun, everyone. I'm looking forward to this. Hi. Welcome to the
Hi,
party. Welcome to the
hi.
party.
Hi.
Well, you certainly bring a lot of joy to the NFT community. Not just the art that you create and the posts that you share, but I think the things that you believe and the way that you approach this. And you're so courageous. You're so outside the box. And I so appreciate the diversity that you bring and the way that you break boundaries and are a forerunner for others. And we need that in all flavors. And I think your flavor is really needed. So thank you for who you are and what you do. I know we lost a little bit of time because I had the wrong link was maybe auto sent to you. So for those that don't know you, can you please introduce yourself to me? This is you and me. We're having a human connection. They're just listening. But why don't you tell me a bit about who you are and your background, and we'll dive into talking community and the future and things of that nature.
Yeah, sure. So my name is PolyAnnie. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I've been a full-time NFT artist since September of 2020. So for over a year, I've been making my living from selling my NFTs. Right now, my artistic journey has led me towards the erotic arts. So for the last 2.5 years, I have been exploring the erotic arts, and that's the type of NFTs that, that I've been creating and exploring. So, I'm just all about like, when I got into the erotic arts, it was a real eye opener for me about, just sexual oppression in general, is censorship, just the issues that a lot of adult creators run into are just like most people who are in just like traditional art or, just like safe art, like regular art that's not like adult themed, like they couldn't even fathom the bullshit that adult creators really have to go through. It's like it's hard enough to be, a content creator or an artist, but then when you're on the fringe of that and you're doing stuff that's like controversial or not everybody agrees with, then there's like a whole another layer of like, issues that come with it. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me.
Well, thank you for sharing that. As far as community development, do you find that it's the people that are buying your NFTs and engaging with you and sharing and being inspired, and maybe they're following your lead in some form or fashion? Are these the OnlyFans creators? Are these people that are already involved in erotic art of some form or fashion? Or do you find that the community is really like the NFT community? They're like, oh, look, this is totally a different approach. Or is it totally new people? Like, are you finding that a community is going from where they were to kind of being part of your tribe, or is it super eclectic? Like, give us an idea about the development of that community.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty eclectic right now. So I'm a brand ambassador and the NFT liaison for NFT adult NFT project called Triple X Nifty. And so, but before that, like that's a relatively in the past 6 months thing. But before that, coming into the NFT space as an adult creator, I had to kind of start over because my, original fans and supporters, who have been supporting me on OnlyFans and clip sites, like they couldn't get crypto. And despite, my best efforts of trying to get them into it. So now, my community of collectors ranges from, people in the crypto world and NFT collectors, as well as, porn supporters. I've, got to work directly with, traditional porn stars and, OnlyFans creators. And so erotic artists. And so it's kind of all over the board. And, I just done a tremendous amount of traveling this year to help like spread the word. So that's kind of allowed me to connect with, a wider range of people. And so what we really need is more attention in the adult NFT space and more support there as well. Triple X Nifty has an amazing like the community that's developed around that has been phenomenal, and it's given a lot of adult creators like myself a more creative outlet, and an additional way to monetize in a more creative way, which is really good for the soul. So for many of us, like it's been relieving and inspiring.
That's so good to hear. When you
Yeah.
think about the technology in the centralized Web 2 space, there's a tremendous amount of censorship, right? Like maybe we can curse on YouTube, but you can't show a lot of your art on YouTube. And in other formats, maybe you can post certain things on Twitter, but they'll censor a picture and you have to kind of opt in to see an image. And in certain capacities, radio, TV, traditional media, and when that plays out on social, you can't really have very much freedom at all in terms of how you express yourself. Do you find that these similar censorships are still in place and they've kind of been brought over as a shadow into the Web3 environment? Or do you find that there's a lot more freedom in the Web3 environment? And just give me an idea of how technology has played out in this specific effort of the way that you do art as a creator.
Yeah, honestly, a little bit of both. I've definitely seen some like bleeding over of like the traditional censorship into the space. Like one of the most expensive NFTs I bought, because I'm also a collector, was a piece from Cryptonatrix. And it was a very tasteful piece. She was fully dressed and she has a strap-on dildo and she's waving it around. And it was removed from Rarible. And so I was still able to buy it on OpenSea, so that I just really wanted that piece because I have a band art collection. But so that was like the first time in the NFT space that I saw and recognized censorship. And what was interesting though is at the time on Rarible, and this was like late 2020, like there was like a whole what's it called, not like a real person, like an AI, and they would have like nude women, right? But that nude women was allowed, but a very tasteful image of a woman with the strap on wasn't. So that really led us to believe like there's definitely some misogynistic things going on there. It's like, who's making the calls here about what, what gets seen and what doesn't, like if nude women is okay, but like empowered women with the strap on isn't okay, So I've seen, with the rise of, a specific adult NFT marketplaces has been helpful, because that needed to happen. And that really started to emerge in spring of 2021, as when we really started to see the first like adult NFT marketplaces like XXX Nifty, Unique Fans, there's Treat DAO. Spank Chain has been around actually for a while, and doing their thing. And they finally released like the Spank Chain Pop Shots. And so, so we're getting like, creating a safe space for adult creators. So we're not subject, to that level of censorship. But we still are seeing some censorship coming through.
So I'm not going to say much context because I don't want to lead you to give an answer you think I want to hear. And just so you know, we are going to run out of time eventually in the next couple minutes before my next guest. So I have two boys, 9 and 12 years old. So as a parent, I have my perspective on protecting my children. And then there's cultural perspective. And then there's the perspective that you and your peers have, which I don't know. So my question to you is, what type of things could or should be done to protect young people from running into things that maybe they wouldn't want to be exposed to at their age, or certainly parents might have some hesitancy and concern of protecting them. So what do you think is appropriate to protect children?
Yeah, because I'm a mom myself. I actually have two children. I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old. And so I believe in that as well. Everyone in the adult industry is right there, like, sex work, sexual content, porn of any kind is for consenting adults. And I just believe, and I really hope to see more development. Like this is 2021. We're coming up into 2022 and we have access to all these new tools and all these amazing minds innovating in this space. And I just would love to see, it's like, there has to be a way to protect and keep, like consenting adult things between consenting adults, like in real life, how I can have a conversation or a sexual experience with another consenting adult behind closed doors where children can't see. And so what we're really thinking is that maybe NFTs can be used as like keys that can give access. And unless you hold these NFTs, then you can't see this work. So I definitely think that like this technology actually could provide those protections that all parents want, because we really all want the same thing, and there's no reason to, completely shut off and oppress, sexuality, because it's such an important part of the human experience, so I believe that there are solutions. And I hope to explore them with people at NFT NYC.
I think this is a good community to explore it with. I think that was also articulate. I think it's tough because oftentimes people feel pressure to say things they're supposed to say because they want to abide by conservative principles, or they say things they're supposed to say because they want to stand out and be the agitator. And so I appreciated your perspective and the way that you shared that with us. Before we wrap up and I take in the next person that I'm interviewing today, any final words, anything else that you want to kind of share with our community as you have everyone's attention that's tuned in live and that sees the archive of this interview?
Absolutely. So many adult creators like myself, and I'm mild in my expression. Everything on my Twitter, you might see some topless, but like nothing more extreme than that. I'm shadow banned. My stuff, everything I post is marked as sensitive. My stuff doesn't get seen, which makes it very hard to interact with the community the way everybody else does. So like retweeting, interacting, collecting the work, like those kind of things are really super helpful, because if not, I'm just kind of shouting into a void and nobody sees or hears. So that would be great to just see some more support there.
Well, thank you for letting us know how we can support you. I look forward to seeing you here in New York City for our event in the next few days. And all of us are grateful to have you represent yourself and those that are your peers, because all of us need to be part of this collective solution around decentralized Web3 technologies and the way that we can empower creators to make a living by being artists. So I recognize you as a great artist. I love what's behind you and the way that you do things. So thanks for being with me, and I'll see you in the next few days here at the event.
Thank you so much. Okay. I'm excited to meet you.
Yes, me too.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, that was great. For those that are watching, thanks for your attention. I'm bringing in Diana